Welcome back, everybody. We are here at the amethyst geode that I built last episode. Oh, looks like we're a little hungry. But this is the end of this survival world. So, like I said last episode, this is going to be the end of my series for this. I'm going to start up a new series for Survival 5. And like I said, this was the amethyst geode that we had built last time. I'm going to kind of just go through and do a tour. So this was the entrance to my mine shaft down there, and this is all on Beagle right now, which was the second area that I went to go build in. And this was my build for after the update to 117? Yes, 117. Which was the first part of the caves and cliffs, and this was the house that I built using like the new blocks and stuff. I was actually very excited to build this as we get through my shulker and chest monster. But I know I am not good at interior, so as normal I didn't do any interior. This was supposed to be like the living room, kitchen, dining room with a bedroom right up there and then the attic way up at the top. But like I said, this was my build that I did for all the new blocks. And the reason I wanted to build it there was because I kind of wanted to have a cliff, like a house on a cliff with just a sheer cliff face, and so that is why I put this out here. I also built down here, I have two different farms going. A lava farm, which I was using the lava for a smelting source, or like a fuel source. And then this is just my little dripstone. I didn't really get much of it, I mean 56, so pretty good since I built it, but the whole reason for this was I just wanted to build a farm and see how I could build one. I might try to build a bigger one, because I might try using these in Survival 5 as like a killing mechanism. So definitely look for that coming up. I'm going to see what I can do. But otherwise, in Beagle, the other reason why I'm in this section is not too far from my house. I have the farm area. This farm area I chose because there's 1, 2, and 3. I found 3 geodes in the ocean. And I'm like, okay, this is way too good to be true, so I'm going to plop down and make this my industrial side. Just put a bunch of farms in here, like the glow squid farm, so I can get glow squid ink, which I ended up just going and selling in my shop in the mall. This was, I had a slime bouncing in here, but I don't think I ever actually saw him spawn. So this just never really worked. Let's kind of get rid of these zombies. While we're doing this. So I'm not sure if he bounced from over on this chunk over. That's a creeper. Oh no. Broke some of my redstone. Actually didn't break a lot. That's pretty nice. Just one repeater, that's it. Where was that repeater from? Oh, it was this repeater. But anyway. So, like I said, I'm not sure if the slime just bounced from over there to there, because this is a slime chunk right here. Right underneath this geode, which I could have built, but I wanted to kind of make it so I can get around and kind of dig out some of these. Oh, almost fell. But this was definitely a slime chunk, and so I built this farm and tried to see if I can make it so they just fall in lava and burn, since on this world, items don't burn when you toss them in the lava. Like, if I just toss some carrots in, you'll see them pop up in this chest here in a minute, but let's take care of the zombie. Since it is nighttime, but there's a lot of people on, so because this is the last day, they had a little send-off party thing, and I was there and recording it, but my recording got corrupted, so I don't have any of that footage. But like I said, on this world, okay, that was supposed to come. Why didn't that make it up? Huh. done that before with items and they've popped up. Interesting. Maybe the carrots did burn, but items aren't supposed to burn when going through lava in this world, because I think they turned that off. But like I said, this is all my industrial district. This is my little moss farm there to build, which I really enjoyed building it. I took lots of time. I have like 4 different like versions because I was trying to build it a special way and like recycling the bone meal into it, and that took a lot of time to try and figure it out, and I finally got one to work. Where is that zombie coming from? But I finally got it to work to where it recycles in there, but once that fills up, it just keeps going on. And I send the bone meal over to this kelp farm, which was another item I was using as a source of fuel for my furnaces. I built this to try and just like test a different kelp farm, because this thing takes a while for it to fill up if I'm not using the bone meal, which I think it's on this side. I have a switch. Yep, right here. I have a switch that will send out the bone meal. So you can see it just work, and it has observers up there, and it just pushes to see when it grows all the way up to the top, and then it breaks it. And that actually did a good job of getting me a lot of kelp fast. But it does take a lot of bone meal to get all the way up. I probably should have built this like half the size and made, or like turned it into 2 separate sections. But I still enjoyed building this, and it was fun. Lots and lots of observers. And this one kind of is the same. Like, this is what I would think I would do if I were to break it up. Because then it goes 1, 2, 3, and every time it goes up it breaks, so it only takes like 3 bone meal, and then it's cycling through. And I think this might be faster. I'm gonna rebuild this on the next server, and we'll see how it goes. But that is all for this industrial district. Let's look and see how much I have in my chests down here for the squid farm. I have taken out a lot of the glowing sacks because I've been selling that in my plot in the mall, which we will go check out right now. We are not there. So, if we fly over here, here is my mall plot. I called it deserted heights, or deserted heights. Why did I have so much problems with that word? Either way, called it this because I was in a mesa biome, which is very deserty, and so I kind of wanted to name my shop that because I was selling all of these terracotta types, and including regular terracotta. But I started selling some glowing sacks. Only sold I think 3 stacks, but still made a bit of money. The thing that made the most money for me was this one, the cyan terracotta. Actually, never mind, that's blue. Light blue. Here's the cyan. This one kept selling out forever. Like, anytime I would stock it, within like 3 days it'd be sold out. So I had to keep stocking it. But yeah, this is my plot in the mall, and I do know when Survival 5 starts up. I just heard someone hit. Don't know where they are. But either way, when Survival 5 starts up, the mall is not going to work at the moment. They'll open it up eventually, so I can actually get a backlog of whatever I'm planning to sell. I haven't thought that far ahead on it, but I am excited to start that up again. And the reason we sell stuff is because there's this, as you can see down there in the chat. Let's see right there. That is how much money I have currently right now. And for every hour you play on the server, you get money, or you sell stuff to get the money to then pay for other stuff. And it's just basically just to buy items. So there's like no exchanging of diamonds. You could if you want, but really diamond exchanging was only for elytra. And it was like 200 diamonds for an elytra. And they ended up testing, I think like 2 months ago, they got rid of that. And then said you can sell it for whatever you want. but that was the only stipulation for Elytra, is you could only buy it with diamonds at first. So now let's go to Husky, where this was the area we spent the most time because we updated only like 6 months ago, about 4. It is dark out there. But this is the first area that I started because, like I said, we only upgraded to 1.8 or 1.17 like 6 months ago, so I didn't have much time. But I spent most of my time over on this server. And this was the building that I built. Yeah, even if it's dark out, let's go outside. Because I can go up on top of this building. But this was the first, like, main base I kind of built in the area. I have a little starter base over there in a little hole. And I was living in there until I built this thing. And for me being a huge Naruto fan, I tried to build the Hokage's office building. And of course, like I said over on Beagle, I'm not good at interiors, so I didn't actually do it. I really wanted to get some interiors done, or some of this interior done, but I never got around to it. So this whole floor, just didn't really get to it. My lists, I built a creeper farm, did not work, so I kept it on here because I needed to rethink it. I think it just didn't work because I didn't do a lot of lighting up of the caves in the area, so definitely going to try and rebuild that and make something fun and find interesting ways to get gunpowder from them. And then the drowned farm and iron farm, I just never got around to doing those. These ones, I'll get to this in a minute, but I never got the redstone done for that. These statues, I was going to build along the line of the rail network, but I never found a good spot along the lines to start building them. But like each one was going to be just lining the network. And it was something I tried to do on Survival 3 when I first started on the Dogcraft server. I built a creeper statue out of wool right at the end because I started right near the end of that survival world, so I kind of wanted to build more. And that's why those were there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them in Survival 5. I might try again. But we'll see. That's a project I don't know if I'm going to go. But this is the area that was really finished in this house / base. And it was a storage system with everything having its own spot. And just chests everywhere. It helped me organize until I got too lazy and just started putting stuff in shulkers and leaving them. But while we're here, let's just look and see some of these more important items like diamonds. I mined all of these except for maybe 2 or 3. I was given by the minigame that we will go look at soon. So, yeah. Other than that, gold didn't really acquire much. The emeralds, I got a lot from my trading hall. I guess netherite scraps. I have 8 scraps and 2 ingots. I just had those. I never really needed them because I got myself full. Actually, everything that I needed got full netherite, so I guess I just had extras. Copper, pretty good amount of copper. Probably could have gotten more. Redstone was the one that I had the most of. That was so easy to get. But as we get around, this is going to be the next big building that I built. And it kind of pertains to my another interest of mine, which is like Greek mythology and kind of Greek architecture I liked. So I built like a Pantheon, or Parthenon. Parthenon. I always get those two. Sometimes like I'll say one of them when I mean the other. I think it's just they are very similar to me for like name-wise. Like I know they're two very different things, but to me, like just trying to speak them, I get them confused sometimes. But this is where I housed all my farms that I needed. Like we have a kelp farm, sugarcane farm. That is a stone or cobblestone generator, which I was using to do trading with villagers, and you kind of heard my sheep farm going. This is where I was going to use that wool for all those statues. I just never got around to it, and I just heard a drowned. Like a zombie just turned into a drowned, but this was my early game kind of like farms and building and stuff, and lots of eggs. Haven't been here in a while, so. But yeah, like I said, just lots of farms, just trying to get a lot of stuff. This one was actually going to be, I had an idea for a game, and it was, I was going to make chess and have each like passive mob head be a different piece. So like the pawns were going to be cow heads and just a lot of stuff like that. And then the other side was going to be the aggressive mob heads. But again, I never got around to building that one. Kind of just like fell off of doing the mini games. I really wanted to build quite a few of them as much as I could at the beginning of the survival series, but kind of interests and other things aligned, and I wanted to build other stuff, and that took more precedence. Like including on the farms section, I have I think it's a bamboo farm right up there, and I was going to build a building around it, but I just kind of left it. That looked like a baby drowned. So then we built this Cloud Buster Sword, and this was my villager trading hall. So as I get in, it's every terracotta color all the way up, except for cyan has 2 sections. It was the only color that had 2. But you come all the way up, and then you start getting into like librarians, farmers, just stuff to get emeralds so that I can then buy more terracotta blocks to kind of stock my shop, because I was getting tired of just mining for terracotta, although I think mining for terracotta was a lot faster than trading. So, especially since I didn't want to like overload the mob cap for it, because I think you can only have like 100 villagers in one chunk or like one area. So I didn't want to put too many, or else I would lag the server out. So that's why I left that there. That sounds like a slime. Huh. But anyway, so we built the Cloud's Buster Sword for this building, just kind of a fun thing to do. And let's get a good look at that. As you can see, we got a bit of the designs there for, I guess, close to the hilt. And the hilt and then the handle. But yeah, I was really excited and had a lot of fun building this. I believe I used a bunch of the new blocks. Yeah, there's some blackstone, like this was the new blocks that were in 1.16. So we got the blackstone, we got the basalt, and then just regular stone is how I built that and used that. I guess the only other thing in this area that was like a major build for me was this smelting system. I built an 84 smelting system. Don't know why I came out to 84 instead of just 64 or even doubling it to 128, but I just made a bunch of furnaces, and however many I had in my inventory is how many I built, with it spread out for as long as the minecart can go. So from there is where it starts the minecart, and then about there is when it's going to start to slow down. So it goes pretty much the length of what a minecart can go from a powered rail. So that's kind of why it's spaced out like that. But like I said, this was really nice, and I built it to smelt anything and everything I wanted, which came back constantly to it even when I was over on Beagle. So I think let's go over to the minigame area first, and then we'll hit up the nether and probably end the episode there. So let's go to the lawn darts, which is what I called the first game I had. Should have grabbed some ender pearls, but this was a game where you have the trident in your hand with Riptide and you just send it out, release a pearl right after you go, and you just try to land on a board that is that direction. I think it's the distance of Riptide 3. Nope, it's the distance of Riptide 1 with a pearl. I did Riptide 1 with a pearl because that's about the best I saw that you could get it to actually land. Otherwise you'd have to kind of walk a bit further. Even at the end of the board, you would still have to load in that chunk just by walking forward just a bit from where you land. But like each color had its different point system, and I haven't changed this in like a year and a half, at least the board. And this is only the second or third board I've had. I had a competition on one of them, which I had like a frame for of who won it, and I don't remember where it is. Didn't even put it out here. I put it somewhere, and I just don't remember. But I had one competition for this where you had to put in an emerald block or a diamond, which is the normal amount I had you pay for. And then whoever won it ended up winning a full beacon set. So it was all the iron blocks that you need for the base and one beacon. So I completely forgot who won that, but that was really fun to run. And I kind of wanted to run a bit more, but like I said, it kind of fell out of doing the mini games. I mean, this has been used a little bit, not as much as I thought it would be. And then this one I was going to build, and this is the bow game that I had, where, let's see if I can get my bow out. You hit the block, and then you try and hit one of those targets, and it was going to be like 1 point, 3 points I think, because that one's really hard to get, maybe 4 points there, 3 or 4 there, and then 5 back there, just because those ones are really hard to get. This is the easiest. The reason I never got around to getting this done is the redstone it was very complex of what I was trying to do, and I just couldn't figure it out. I spent multiple times on testing worlds just trying to get it to work. First I was working on a running counter, and I finally got that to slightly work, but then I was having problems getting the redstone going to it, and once I connected other redstone to it, like if you were to hit, say, that one, and light it up, I was having problems having it count up. So that's why I just never got around to doing that. Definitely I'm thinking of maybe building a mini game or getting back to building those on Survival 5. I just want to get going on a lot of other builds first, and then I'll probably think about it. But yeah, that was my idea for some mini games. Now if we go back to my main area, which I did call Konoha, again, as I'm a huge Naruto fan. But let's, as it loads in, because it's being slow, look at our nether portal. First up, when we first got here, we actually had our portal over, and I think it was that hole right there. But we actually moved it here once we did the reset, and like the nether reset, because this had a much better spawn area and a bastion right next to it. Where's my staircase down? There it is. So we actually came into a bastion right there. So the fact that that spawned there and I was able to claim it was amazing. I was super happy. So then I started building like my little nether hub and my buildings here, which I actually connected it up, and we'll go up there and look at that soon. Stuff is having problems loading in. Again, there's a lot of people. And this is my piglin trading, and so they're all of them are here and working, and didn't really get to use much of these. The only reason I was using this was to see if I got some books, blackstone, and ender pearls. I think ender pearls were one of the most important things I was wanting to get out of this little trading thing, and that was for that little mini game. So didn't really get as much as I wanted to, but it was still a fun build nonetheless. Yep, we're stuck in a chunk. Come on. I should not have flown. Hey, there's a skeleton freaking out. What is... There we go. Flew straight into a block. So, as we come up here the staircase and we come into here, this was like my little room. There's no reason for this other than just aesthetic as you come down this hallway, which has alternating colors of the wood textures from the nether. And it just connects up to the main kind of like nether tunnel system that we have going. But yeah, like right here. This is the end of the nether tunnel. I never did actually put up my sign again, but I was really excited to build this, and it's actually really fun to fly through, just all those colors just flying past you. And the light source in there is lava. Very nethery, I feel. But it made it so nothing can spawn in there, and also, because I think these are top... Oh no, these are bottom slabs, so nothing would have spawned anyway, but just give it some light as you're going. And so that is kind of all I've built on this server. And now that this server is ending here in... Today's what, the 12th? It ends in 2 days, and then there's going to be about 4 or 5 days off. And on the 18th, the world's going to reset to Survival 5, which will be in 1.18.1. And so I'm hoping next Saturday I should be able to record an episode, or next Sunday, and actually get the start of my Survival 5 going, which I've said at the beginning of this episode, it's going to be a brand new series, and I'm excited to start on that, because there's going to be 4 worlds, and I'm planning to build something in all 4 worlds, and they're going to be kind of mega bases is what I'm planning. So it'll give me a lot of stuff to do, a lot of building to go with. Also, going to be trying to do more interior work, so that's going to be a fun challenge that I'm setting for myself. But that is it for today's episode. That is it for this series. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next series.